Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Again, feels like it's so long since we've seen each other, and welcome to the finale of Octon Cthulhu. I can't believe I am saying those words. It has flown by in the absolute blink of an eye, but every second of it has been fantastic, and I am what's the phrase that's polite to say here? Shitting bricks about what will happen today because I love all these people so much. I love these characters so much, and I'm a fan of them, and I want them to make it. But I also know I can't make it easy, or else where's the drama in that? So I want to believe they will all come through fine on the other side, but it's a finale and anything can happen. So I don't want to chat too much, but before we get going and I uh, hop back into doing kind of a recap here. Just want to say quickly, if you were watching this on YouTube in the future, please like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all of that. And you can, as long as you're subscribed, you can check back on the Encounter Roleplay YouTube anytime and see reruns of every fantastic show that we have here. And there are oh so many. Right up after this is Flames of Freedom, another finale that is going to be bonkers. So if you like this, check it out. There's no shortage of great content on the Encounter Roleplay YouTube, and you should devour all of it. I'm going to keep it brief for myself today. I'm Kalanomicon. I am your game master. I have been your game master for this season of Octon Cthulhu, and I loved every minute of it. Wouldn't change a thing. And that's all I'll say for now before I start crying. And I'm going to pass it to my left. Please introduce yourself, your character, and tell me. Normally, I say what you're looking forward to. Tell me what you're afraid of in this session. And I'm going to start with Charlie over to my digital left.
Hello. Before we get into it, I do want to just say to chat, please, if you do any donations or subs today, give me all the hype over in chat. I'm no longer on the Encounter Roleplay Twitch, so it makes it really hard for me to see these things sometimes. So just make sure you're shouting it out, and we can all party and have a great time. Use highlights if you can. Appreciate that very much. I am playing Verity Wright today, who I may occasionally call Constance because I have one working brain cell at the moment. But she is a coder, code breaker, breaker of devices apparently, and also breaker of hearts, and occasionally breaker of body parts if you fall on people, as we found out last week. What am I afraid of? I fear nothing, Colin. Except that the general will never figure out what the fuck I sent him in that note. That is my one fear. And I'll pass down to Kate Madison down below me.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kate Madison, sometimes known as Axis at Work on socials, but Kate Madison here on Twitch, which is where my life has been this entire year, basically since the plague. So I play Mabel Smith, who is adorable and not a traitor at all. I'm just afraid of the last episode generally, and yes, I guess I'm afraid of what is to come and how this is all going to end and who will be alive at the end. And I think I am afraid for Mabel that she may see stuff that she has seen once before, and it will bring back terrible memories. Mystery.
Backstory hooks. Yeah.
I will pass over to Helen. Oh, she's gone. I will jump Helen.
Oh, she's gone. Horrendous.
And sniper hide. Hello, I'm Rindis of Party Wipe Games, and tonight I am, of course, playing Alexei Sokolov of the Soviet intelligence, the NVKD. Hello. The only thing Alexei is afraid of is the thing he hopes was destroyed with explosives.
Yeah, it's probably gone.
Definitely gone.
All right. And above Rindis, we have Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat at Clerk of Cord. I'm playing Judith Gold, who is a trained SOE operative, has been behind the lines training resistance fighters for the last 3.5, 4 years of the war. And is afraid that the Nazis will win. What I'm afraid of is I'm afraid that the nightmare that I had last night will come true. But in a way, I kind of want it to come true. So we'll see.
That's such Cat energy right there. And you're just in time, Lindy. We're
Yeah.
gonna throw it down to you.
All right. Hi, I'm Lindy, and I will be playing Private Helen Phillips. She's a sniper with now 302 confirmed kills on her belt. I'm not afraid of anything much that could happen in this specific game. Other games maybe, but I feel pretty okay as a player about this game. However, Helen is terrified that she's going to be the only survivor yet again. So
That again.
everything's fine. Yeah. And
All right. And I'm Colin. I play everybody else. So before we get going, just a very, very quick recap. Last episode, we began back at Ferme du Bois, where the operatives' safe house, an old farmhouse in the Belgian countryside just outside of the village of Ardouet. Unfortunately, the safe house was surrounded by Nazis, and who laid siege to the place. The operators managed to scrape together everything they possibly could, all the documents, everything they have, and then douse the place in gasoline, while Alexei, played by the brilliant Rindis, spent some momentum to make sure that the Red Army Choir was blaring as the Nazis approached, which is still my favorite momentum spend of the entire series so far. They made it down into the tunnels beneath Ferme du Bois to get back to the Black Boar, their other resistance hideout, the Black Boar Inn. But as they were getting down into the tunnel, Alexei helping the wounded Verity down, the Nazis fired a tank round at Ferme du Bois, turning it into matchsticks, setting the whole place ablaze, which sent Verity, who already had a nasty conk on the head, got a conk on the head from a roofing beam that sent her down the tunnel and on top of Alexei, who broke his arm in the fall. They then all got the hell out of Dodge, ran down the tunnels, avoided the explosives that they'd planted before, and Judith and Alexei managed to just barely get away as the tunnel collapsed from the explosion. Finding themselves in these sewer tunnels, mostly unharmed and temporarily safe, they all took a breather, took a moment. They have not really had a chance to rest or sleep in days, and they all took a moment to just talk and kind of find their grounding again. And there was some very lovely conversations between Marcel and Judith and Mabel of sort of reflecting on happier times before this all began and dreaming of a better future when this war is over. While Helen, Miss Soul Survivor herself, ran back to the Black Boar Inn to see if the coast was clear. She heard Madame Lemieux and Jacques and Gaston all speaking in some kind of strange proto-Welsh Celtic language she didn't understand, but she revealed herself. They were very happy to see her. They thought they were all dead, and Helen made a beeline back to the rest of the team to tell them that the coast was clear and that they could get to the Black Boar. While Alexei, who passed out from the pain of his broken arm, relived some of his darkest days back in Stalingrad during the great battle for which he was so highly decorated, but at what cost? When Alexei finally came to, the rest of the operators got up out of Dodge, ran back to the Black Boar quick as their feet could carry them. The unconscious Verity being carried all the way. And when they reached the Black Boar, Madame Lemieux revealed that she has a secret. And that secret is glowing blue magic powers. She took Alexi's broken arm and with a wave of her hand and a flash of blue light healed the injured Russian. The compound fracture in his wrist was immediately healed, bone sucked back into skin, and everything closed right up. Alexi, on your character sheet, by the way, this should be marked as you can remove the injury. And take 5 off of your stress tracker.
Oh,
There's still some mental
fantastic,
stress there.
'cause that was, yeah. It's the stress of seeing magic.
It's very stressful. The last thing Madame Lemieux said was, I should explain. But we are not going to start there, actually, today. We are going to start with a certain cryptographer, our own Verity Wright, who has been unconscious for some time. Judith evaluated her wounds, found that she had some fractured skull parts, very soft, kind of mushy part of her skull, and that she was she had suffered a very traumatic brain injury, and while she was stable, whether or not she would wake up was anyone's guess. Verity, in your state, you have been wandering. You remember very briefly the sound of an explosion. That's the last thing you can recall. There was a loud boom, and next thing you knew, everything just went dark. And you wandered in that darkness for some time. How long, you can't say. Time doesn't mean anything to you right now at all. But at some point, walking through that darkness, you find yourself in an underground tunnel. The London Underground. It is an empty platform. But it is as you remember them during the Blitz. They are the ground in here is strewn with various kinds of refuse for people left behind. Bottles, food wrappers from rations, people's luggage, coats, hats. You spent time in these tunnels during the Blitz when the bombs were falling. You may have even shared a tunnel with Mabel at some point and not known. This was where they would send you underground when the bombs started falling. Somewhere for the populace to be somewhat safer. Everyone in London at that time was affected somehow. Everyone lost someone. Everyone lost someone they care about. Family, friends, coworkers. No one was left untouched. Verity, who did you lose in the Blitz?
So when the bombs were dropping at their worst, I was working in an office dealing with a lot of paperwork. And there was another woman there. Her name was Sarah. And her fiance was away. And she was struggling to pay her rent, struggling to deal with life. And she ended up staying in my apartment with me. And everything was, for a little time, like there wasn't a war on. We were just having fun. And some nights we'd pretend that instead of across the sea, her fiance was just up in Scotland visiting relatives. And then the bombs were dropping. and it was chaos. The sirens were sounding, everyone was screaming. We were sorting paperwork in the office as quickly as we could. And I lost her. I lost her somewhere in all of that. And I didn't find her until the next morning. She tried to hide between filing cabinets.
Well, you found her now. And as you stand on this empty platform, you hear her voice. Verity? Verity? Verity?
Sarah.
What are you doing here?
I don't know. There was an explosion. Something happened. I don't know.
And as you hear this voice in your mind, you turn and you see her.
Sarah. What happened? Sarah.
It's too late for me. But it's not your time.
What do you mean, my time? Come on, Sarah, we can get out of here. Come on.
No. I didn't make it. I'm already gone.
You should have made it, Sarah. I don't understand how you didn't.
We all should have made it. None of this should have ever happened. We shouldn't live like this. In fear. We should be able to plan for our future. But a tyrant took all that away. And you have to help stop it.
How? How do I stop it?
With your brilliant mind, of course.
I sent him the last letter you wrote.
I knew you would. Thank you. You.
I don't know how I can do this. I don't know. I'm sure I've accomplished anything this whole time.
You have accomplished so much. You've given
Yes,
them
I'm
hope.
on for distraction.
You don't understand. I don't think ever understood. You are a light, Verity. Whether you want to see it or not.
Yes, I'm radiant. Look at me glow.
You are. You are. Through your
Which station
brilliance.
are we even in?
All of them.
I wish I were at home.
Me too.
Yes, Sarah.
I wish Tommy was back from the war. I wish the three of us could see a film together, have dinner.
I'd like that. Could have taken him to the tea house. Those little stupid
Yes.
sandwiches.
Hold on to that. It's the little things. It's the small things. The little bits that remind you you're alive. That's what you miss when you go.
Do you remember how we tried to make that lemon cake? Use that dried peel, the powdered eggs. It's a disaster. It's more like porridge.
Rationing. It was a bit soupy. But we laughed. You remember? Laughter?
We bought eggs at the market. That was a lie we told. That woman going to buy eggs were just simple girls. We should have been simple girls, Sarah.
You will never be just a simple girl. You're going to wake up. And you're going to be a hero.
I never told you, Sarah, but you were much better at breaking codes than I was. Spent a lot of time very jealous. I invited you to live with me so I could steal some of that genius, so I could understand how your brain worked. Because it was so much quicker than mine.
Perhaps so. But you are the one who's still there. It's up to you now. Please. Don't give up. They need you.
Only we could have traded places.
No. Don't ever think that
You
way.
had so many plans, though, Sarah. You were going to have children and all these horrible little creatures running around, spreading your brains and his looks. Because you always told me how attractive he was. And I never even got to meet him properly. I'm so upset about that as well.
Fortunately, you won't get to. He's with me now.
May you do in the next life what you didn't get to in this one. Suppose I better get back.
Suppose you better had. You're going to be brilliant, as you always have been. Do it for me. Do it for yourself. Do it for the world.
Is being brilliant enough, Sarah?
No. But as you always have, you have friends. Trust them. Believe that people love you. Verity. You've always had such a damned hard time believing it.
Alright, scurry away with that very handsome man of yours. I apparently have a world to save.
That's the attitude.
And then a
Just up
cup
the
of tea
stairs
to
over
drink
there.
after. Stairs.
Goodbye. Goodbye, my friend. I hope I don't
Bye,
see you
Sam.
soon.
I hope not. And Verity will walk up the stairs. And she'll pause to look at the walls, which were always covered in propaganda posters and slogans and safety warnings. And I imagine she can't really make out the words in this place, because this is every station all at once. This is not a real place. And then she'll
Are you looking for something in
reach out.
particular?
Yeah, I think she'll reach out her hand and try and trace the words. And I want to see if there is any clue to be found in this place about either what just happened to her or what she's about to walk back into. Because the whole point of these
Okay.
signs, right, is to warn you generally of
Yeah.
what you're meant to be doing, what to do in case of
Right.
emergency, what shit is going on. And so I think, like, in her dream brain, she's like, there has to be something here that's going to tell me what to do next. I know I've got to go up the stairs, but come on government, come on, British government, let's do this one more time.
All right.
Give me a clue.
Roll. Yeah. Roll a reason. Reason academia focus and cryptography applies. So this is your forte,
Right.
my friend.
Sure is. So let's do this thing. All right. So I'm gonna roll 2 dice.
Mhm.
You know what? Actually, I'm gonna give you some threat, Colin. I'll take 3 dice.
Oh, thank you.
I got myself a little dice, and then my target number 16, and my focus is gonna be 5 because of academia.
Mhm.
3
There you go.
successes.
Yep.
Wait, is it 4?
4.
2? Yeah.
4. Yep. So here's what I'm going to do. This is a difficulty 0 roll. You can do this no matter what, because this is your own brain you're interpreting. So this will, difficulty 0 rolls do not pay up momentum. However, the number of successes you get determines more just, it's not an issue of if you pass or fail, it's just how good you're going to do. And with 4 successes, Verity, you see this board in front of you, plastered with posters. Keep calm and carry on, just all of these slogans and propaganda that you've seen so many times. And you see a flash, and over the top of these posters, you see those little bits of tobacco that you took from Judith's cigarette and arranged on the floor of Ferme du Bois. In a technique known only to you, you made an analog computer with tobacco leaves and connected these dots and ran these calculations. You brilliant, brilliant woman did something that probably no one else has ever done, and you saw through the code. You saw directly through the veil of secrecy that was in those documents. And as you stare at this board, almost like your mind is just creating lines of yarn between letters, between words, between images. It spreads like a spider web as the tobacco leaves fall before you almost like little snowflakes and then stop in midair and connect, lines forming all around. And you see words. And you just know Marta Archambaud has not betrayed you. It couldn't be. It doesn't make sense. And you see a sentence form in front of you. The traitor is much closer to home. And you know, as you step back toward the stairs, that when you wake up, someone in the room with you is not who they seem. Do you go up the stairs?
She does. She walks straight through the frozen tobacco leaf snowfall and up the stairs. And I imagine she feels, as she reaches near the top, that biting cold of the winter that's pushing into Belgium right now.
Yes. The cold wind hits your face. As you awaken on a table in the kitchen of the Black Boar, Madame Lemieux has both of her hands on your head, and you awaken to a soft blue glow in your eyes. As Madame Lemieux falls backward. That one took a lot out of me. Can you hear me, Verity?
Oh, God.
And you all see Verity's eyes open and hear her voice again.
Sigh of relief.
Oh, good.
I
Back
don't
to
suppose there's
normal.
any tea that we can make.
Someone say tea.
Welcome back.
Madame Lemieux just gestures to some tea on a cabinet. Just...
I
Judith will
will
make
go
some
grab
tea.
the tea and start. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll both do it.
Be like,
Is she alright? What's going on?
Well,
Oh,
Am I alright?
you're doing better now. There was a Nachtwolfe guy who kind of took you a bit out of it, and Mabel was going to investigate, but we took care of it, and she brought you back.
well,
and
Helen took care of it.
lured him out. Bait's an important role.
The safe house is now
Yeah.
now toothpicks.
And on fire. We collapsed that part of the tunnel though, so they hopefully will think it's just a basement or cellar.
Oh, the explosion worked.
Yeah, it did.
Well,
Good.
yes, after the other explosion, though.
From the
Okay.
tank.
I
played the
think
big
shot
part in the
first.
explosion.
Yeah.
we didn't initiate the first explosion.
So, what happened? The night
Safe house is
Wolf
compromised.
was there. We returned to the safe house from Outpost 13.
Mm-hmm.
They followed.
Yes.
Everything went bang.
Well, no, I think they were doing something else, and then I think the safe house got compromised. Separately, we
how it
covered our
was
track
compromised.
pretty good. I don't think they followed us, though.
Alexei blew up Outpost 13 as well, and we didn't find Marta there.
No, she
But we
wouldn't
did
be
find
there.
a
Oh, we got more
Rasputin.
information.
It was a dog. And I'll gesture to Rasputin.
Why have we named him up? Never mind.
Because Alexei found him.
He is a survivor.
All
I mean,
right.
Rasputin is dead, though. I mean, so that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, but he was really
No,
hard to
but
kill,
he-
wasn't he?
Well,
You
Well,
have to
can,
kill
Carrie,
him
can we be
almost 9
hard to kill?
times to stay down.
Can that be a goal
Sure.
for the team? Hard to kill.
That'd be nice.
That would be ideal. Yes.
It is
Right.
right, I could have named him
But we-
Verity.
What have we heard from HQ? What are we doing now? Safe
we
house is
need to go
gone.
to the monastery on Black Lake.
I'm sorry. The what? What? The where?
There's a monastery on the Dark Lake.
Dark
Some
Lake.
brothers there, the Crimson Brothers. They've taken Marta there. She's to see somebody called the Cowled Sorcerer. And then she looks at Madame Lemieux and she goes, and apparently the Andui are not going to be a problem. At least according to the Nazis.
We'll just see about that, won't we?
Are you Welsh? Like secretly Welsh?
No.
I am.
Right.
You're secretly Welsh.
Well, not secretly. Grandmother's Welsh.
Oh, well.
It's
Although,
I think
you
we're
know,
glossing
sometimes
over
we
the-
don't mention it at Christmas. I mean, you know.
I'm
did
sorry,
say I
you
would-
glow blue.
yes. Let me explain.
Please.
We, and she looks around at Gaston, Marcel, Jacques. We are just a few of what's left of the Ardui. We have guarded this area, the Ardennes, for, well, a very long time. Millennia. We are descended from the ancient druids. And we have long sought to protect the spirits that reside within these trees. For a very long time now, our enemies, they've taken many names. The Black Sun, the Nachtwölfe, the Crimson Brothers. They're all just different forms of the same pawns, really. How do I put this? The world that you all live in is much bigger and stranger than you know. There are things out there that are beyond your comprehension. Even we, the Ardui, don't fully understand where our powers come from. We know how to channel them, we know how to use them to help people. But I can't lie to you and say that we understand it. We don't. The Nazis, with the Black Sun and the Nachtwölfe, and now the Crimson Brothers, are meddling in things that they do not understand at all. They can't control it. They're arrogant enough to think they can, but they can't. It will be their destruction, I'm sure of it. But the evil that they are contacting does not discriminate. And it will be the end of all of us. With our limited resources, there was only so much we could do but try to help those in a better position to help. And so we tried to help you. Marta is much more than a resistance leader. She is our leader. She is our chief priestess.
And what's more, she isn't the traitor.
You are certain of this now.
It's in maths. Doesn't make sense.
I never thought she would. Marta would never betray us.
Then who is?
That is the question. But I don't think we have time to bicker it out here. Because I'm sure it would be quite the conversation trying to figure that one out. Sounds like we need to push forwards.
Always forward.
Never backwards.
Not one
Only
step.
backwards for the French.
If you say so.
So how do we stop them? She's addressing Madame Lemieux.
Well, we've seen a lot of movement. And I think you all have heard now about the monastery. The brothers have been there a very long time. They mostly were interested in their own ends for the last several centuries, but with the Nachtwolfe and the Black Sun and the Nazis, they found themselves some very eager and willing allies. They wanted Marta for her power. They want to use her. The Nazis got Marta first, and so she made a very convenient bargaining chip. If we, you, us, can get her back, we can stop them from using her, because they are going to use her power to summon something. Even I don't know exactly what. But Marta's a powerful conduit. And with her magic, they could raise an unholy terror. And if the Nazis have that on their side, the world is lost. I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't have a tactician's mind. But we need to get to Dark Lake. We need to get Marta. And we need to stop the cowled sorcerer. It's as simple as that, and as complicated as that.
So they can use her against her will. They can force her to use her powers. Her abilities.
Most could not. But now that she's in the hands of the cowled sorcerer, yes, I believe that's possible. I believe he is strong enough that he could overpower Marta.
What can you
Guys have
tell
like
us
a-
about this sorcerer?
Not much. He's... well... he wears a hood for a reason. He's shrouded in mystery, but he is a... well, shall we say, much more than an arcane dabbler. He is a very, very powerful mage who has enhanced himself over the years by collecting very powerful magical artifacts. He has a sword that can drain the life from your body. And he's collected other things as well.
Alright, so it sounds
he
like
mortal?
Helen, you're getting that target. Sorry, Judith, go ahead.
Is he mortal?
That's something I don't know for sure. There's always
I suppose we're
been
going to find out.
there's always been a cowled sorcerer. If it's been the same one, or different people adopting the mantle over the centuries, I'm afraid I just don't know. But he is not natural.
Are you
But
saying that it's best for us not to try and attack him and to just take out Marta? If he has been around for centuries, I don't know how we can stop him. No?
You did see what Helen did to that one man's head.
Oh, agreed. But I mean, you just said yourself. I mean, what if he is strangely immortal somehow? I would like
Then
Helen
we've
to
slowed him
pop
down
his
a
head
bit.
like a pineapple. Don't worry. But yes.
Well, I suppose if he is immortal, then containment will be the key thing. My additional question is going to be, what is the relationship between this man and our dearest darling Sweet Liesel, who commands an entire army here in this area?
I don't know precisely, but Sweet Liesel has been, well, she's no occult expert herself, but she's been quite willing to work with them. Near as we know, it was Liesel who coordinated the operation to capture Marta, knowing that having Marta would give her very powerful negotiating power with all of the occult factions at play here.
So she is aware.
I think yes, she is aware of Marta's origin, and I believe the relationship between the cowled sorcerer and Liesel is one of convenience, shall we say. Likely not friends by any stretch of the imagination, but they both have something to offer each other. Liesel's a fanatic. I mean, the cowled sorcerer, the Crimson Brothers, the Noctulfa, the Black Sun, they're all fanatics of a different flavor. They all really wish to wreak unholy havoc upon this world for their own nihilistic ends. But Liesel, she's different. She is a true believer. She has a swastika tattooed on her heart. She is a zealot for the Nazi cause. She'll do whatever it takes to win this war.
And Hurley
Very
Havoc
much
and
like
Nazi.
take her down.
Yes.
I look over at
All right.
Alexi.
Go ahead, Judith.
She's Einsatzgruppen.
Did you catch that, Alexi?
You were speaking in.
She's not just SS. She's Einsatzgruppen.
Do you know what that is?
Out of character, I vaguely do. Alexi definitely knows.
Einsatzgruppen are the worst of the worst SS. They are literal. They were the death squads for the SS. They would come in to execute prisoners. They're responsible for countless deaths of civilians, primarily Jews, of course, during the Second World War. They are the absolute scum of the earth and the nastiest characters.
I see here they also have a huge kill count of Soviet civilians, too.
Yes, they do.
So with that, Alexi's expression darkens quite a bit. And in Russian, he'll respond, "Well, I think we have a common enemy then." More so than normal Nazis.
I think we do.
Okay.
A bottle of vodka
So-
to whoever gets to her first.
Oh, I figured I would hold her down and you punch.
That'll work.
We can share the vodka.
Well, while this Russian collusion is going on, very entertaining as it is, can I suggest that, Alexi, you work on some sort of explosion that we can use to contain our friend the cowled magician?
Happily.
Yes, I thought you'd enjoy that. And maybe, Judith, you can bring your nefarious mind to the machinations. Help create the mousetrap, so to speak. Do we have schematics for the monastery? Any blueprints? Any information for the layout of the area? There's a lake,
You do.
allegedly.
Madame Lemieux snaps to Marcel, who is like, "Oh, okay," and runs to a back room and comes out with a big roll of parchment that he unrolls on the table. And I will now show all of you. Just got to change something real quick. Where is that? Reveal. Okay. All right. If you look at Roll20, there is a map right now. There's not much left of the monastery, but most of it's in ruins. But the stables still stand, and near as we know, the Crimson Brothers have primarily used the old Way House as their primary gathering point. There's also an old barn, and they have set up some sort of altar at the lake that they use for their rituals. But it is surrounded by forest. And there are roads not far away, so we could get in by vehicle and sneak through the woods to the monastery. And Madame Lemieux looks to Mabel. I understand you're something of a skilled driver. Is that right, Miss Smith?
Yes. Yes, I've been doing it since I was very young. And so if you've got any sort of vehicle, or if you've got something that I can make work, at least for the amount of time that we need to drive, then I'm your girl.
Good on you.
I did notice
We-
earlier that there was an egg cart
Yes,
thing, which I don't know if that's
I
still
was hoping
there.
you'd notice that. Yes,
Yes.
we spoke with the neighbor, and he has agreed to loan us the keys for that truck.
Fantastic. Better to have a loan than a long-term borrow, shall we say. Okay, wonderful. All right. If it's all right with everyone, I'll go check that it's all tip-top and what we need and not too noisy or anything. Does that work?
Mhm.
Perfect.
All right. Call on me if you need me. And I'll head out to go and sort of see that it's not like incredibly noisy or it's got enough oil and all the mechanic-y type things that you do with cars that Kate definitely does regularly with her car. Yeah.
All right. As you go outside to inspect it, I want to shout out, thank you, Chaos Chorus, for hitting our first sub goal. Our first reach week goal, our second sub goal. I've already topped up the momentum pool from that sub, and I'm going to use the second sub goal that we hit to unlock a story event. Just not quite yet, but I have it noted here. And we've also had our reach week goal met, which means they're all about to get a boon. And we also had another donated boon. Thank you all so very much for that. And this is all going to this is all going to come to fruition very, very shortly. So cheers for
Hopefully.
that. So that's one. Okay. So Mabel, you go out to check the truck. And you want to like look under the hood or something, or?
Yeah, and she's definitely going to look under the hood, check that she knows all the bits and pieces. I probably will. Do I? Okay, so what I'm thinking I want to do, but I think she would be smart enough to sort of just check the area. She would like to turn it on and hear how it runs, but what is it like out here? Is it very quiet? Will it somehow draw any sort of weird suspicion if she starts up the vehicle? That's her first priority. Is like she wants to hear it and check it's all right before we have to go and there's a deadline, but she doesn't want to potentially draw in curious people as to why there's a vehicle here at all. You know, so
you're in the alleyway behind the tavern. It is quiet. There's no one else back here. This truck, of course, belongs to the neighbor here, of course. So it is not out of place. It belongs here, so that itself is not suspicious. And for the time of day it is, it's still like relatively early morning because you guys worked through the night last night. It wouldn't attract really any suspicion. It would be pretty natural for a truck to be running here. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, she'll turn it over, have a listen to it, check it over generally of where everyone's going to go, because it's I'm assuming it's, but I don't know what you think, but I'm assuming it's like maybe a 2 or 3 seater in the front and then sort of almost a flatbed truck or something filled with eggs. So figuring out how everyone's going to fit. I do have one of my sort of skills is it's not a skill, it's a talent, isn't it? Smuggler. So in theory, I can conceal characters or items within a vehicle, which basically, so I use my vehicle skill instead of stealth if I ever need to do that.
Right.
So I have
cool.
that ability. And
Great.
I do have this jerry rig ability too, but I think it's a sort of temporary thing. But that's a repair thing. So I'm just going to check it over, make sure I am sort of sorted and ready to go and know where everyone's going to go and all that sort of malarkey.
Yeah, so you check under the hood and you see this is a older truck. If you start it up and the engine's running when you pop it up, you can see it looks strong, it's running well. A little bit old, and you realize this could be significantly improved with, and I've been waiting to say this since episode 1, a simple oil change.
Yay! I will eagerly go and look for some oil. I'll go back into the house and see if there is any oil there.
There is some in the truck, in the bed of the truck. There is a little toolkit, and there is some oil in there.
Perfect. She will eagerly, finally, be able to mend a vehicle with a simple oil change. So she will do that, and probably end up getting covered in oil. I think she tried to scrape off all of the that shadow-like camouflage she did before, but now she's sort of back to it almost because she's got oil all over her. Probably as she's working away.
Roll this as your. I'd like you to roll this actually as your jerry rig ability. I'm kind of going to be using the spirit of that, but not the letter.
Okay. Yeah. So it says when you attempt a skill test to repair a vehicle, you may generate. You want the threat. You may generate 2 threat to reduce the difficulty of that test by 1 to the minimum of 0. Pet repairs are only temporary, blah, blah, blah. So, what shall I roll? Is it coordination and vehicles?
Yes, that sounds right. Yeah.
All right.
Deft hands. Are you going to use the
I
jerry-rig ability?
focused on motorcycles because I am silly. Well, that's because I thought it would be more appropriate, even if it wasn't appropriate for the game. Say that again. Would I?
Are you going to
am I
use
going to
the
what?
use the jerry-rig ability? So I'll take the threat, and this will actually make it a difficulty 0 task. So
Sure.
it won't pay up momentum, but you will, depending how many
What, is it
successes you
maxed
roll, you
anyway?
could. Yeah, it's maxed out anyway. But depending how many successes you get, you could really make this truck sing, depending how well you do.
Let's do that. I mean, it's the finale. Come on, we all know it's going to go crazy. So yes, take your threat, young man, and I will roll. I got 16 on this roll, so which is my best thing because I have so much in vehicles. Okay, skill test. So I still am only rolling 2 dice at the moment, unless I take a momentum or something, right?
Yeah, or
Is it
give me
worth-
more threat.
You know what? I'll take one of those momentum because it can't go anymore, and so I might just put it straight back in. So I'll roll 3
True.
dice.
Well, you won't, because this is difficulty 0, so it won't pay up momentum.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's just part of it.
We'll get momentum back.
Spend it. Spend it.
I'm spending it. All right, submit that. The target number is 16. Submit. Boop. Did I do it?
Is
Wait,
that two?
work?
Is that 2 within your focus range? Oh, your focus isn't motorcycles.
It's not a
That's right.
focus. Focus in motorcycles, which probably was silly for a game like this. But at the same time, I just liked her as a motorcycle, delivery
I mean,
person.
it's kind of badass. Yeah.
I do it for role play sometimes, and not for mechanics. I'm sorry, people.
I am going to use my boon, one of them, to give you 2 extra successes.
Yeah, we go faster stripes down the side of the vehicle.
I'm gonna double the flavor, double the fun. You find that this old engine has a hell of a lot of life in it, and when you do a simple oil change, you're like, wait, there's more I could do here. I could do a little fine tuning, tweak some things, loosen a few things here. I don't know fucking cars. But you do some.
Me neither. Let's pretend.
Yeah, you do some. Let's just pretend we know what we're talking about. You basically supercharge this thing, and when you get in the truck and just rev the engine a little bit, it is that satisfying purr that you always loved so much. This thing now will fly. This is. I'll think about how I'm gonna play this, but I basically think it's just gonna be easier for you, if you drive in this thing, to outrun anything else, to outmaneuver anything else. It's just gonna be simpler.
I have a truth. That is acrobatic daredevil, which I know nothing about, but I thought that would be quite funny.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
We can do crazy stuff if we need to.
I really hope we get one of those Indiana Jones The Last Crusade Nazi cross-country races where they're on the bikes, we're in the truck. It's a whole thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
Leaping from vehicles. Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Yep. So this truck, Mabel, it looks good.
Cool. She probably spends more time out there than she needs. She's kind of. She feels a little bit at home, and she's getting reminded of her dad and stuff, so she's kind of out there tinkering, even though she's kind of finished, and probably might need someone to come out and pull her back in. But
yeah, and Mabel, you are reminded of home as you get in the truck and see that the owner of this apparently has a similar fixation that you do, as dangling from the rearview mirror is a little good luck charm. A little Welsh love spoon.
what? Oh,
You found a kindred spirit.
She holds on. She holds on and gives it a little thank you.
All right. You gonna return back inside now? Or they have to drag you back in.
Yeah, I think
because you're having too much fun.
Oh no. she probably eventually like will go back in if no one comes out to drag her in. She'll be like, oh, I should probably like figure out what the heck the rest of the plan is, because they're going to be back on foot after the drive. So she should find out what the big plan is, because she has just 3 grenades and a very small little handgun. So she needs to know what she needs to do when the shit hits the fan a little bit. So yeah, head back in.
Judith will step outside with a cup of tea, because after their conversation in the tunnel, and just kind of stand there and just kind of with the steam towards Mabel.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm done. This is beautiful. It's gonna
Come get something to eat.
Oh yes.
Come get something to eat. Yes.
I come back in.
All right, you come back in to see that Judith has made a little spread. Little tea and coffee, and what'd you make them to eat, Judith? You said you were making something.
It's just mostly, I mean, whatever's been around, like bread and cheese, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe if they've got a little bit of bacon fat, she's kind of fried the bread up in the bacon fat, and then just whatever Madame Lemieux has around, she's just kind of putting something together, just because they have been going at it for a while, and if we're going to keep going, we need to eat and have something to drink in this.
Oh, this looks lovely. You see that, like, I think Mabel is even more bubbly than normal now. She's like a bit grinny, having been outside working with the vehicles. Like, I finally managed to find some oil for a vehicle. I mean, I tell you, an oil change, it's a simple thing. And yes, you get a bit messy. I might be a bit messy, but you know, it does wonders. That thing purrs like a freaking kitten now. So that's pretty cool. What is this?
It's bread, fried bacon, grease, cheese.
Nice. I love bacon.
Look, she's happy as a pig in muck. Look at her.
Am I that? Oh no, sorry.
I mean, you are a little, like, just a little, like,
just a little.
Yeah,
yeah,
just
okay.
smudgy.
Okay, well, I'll rub it in.
I mean, it adds the aesthetic, you know. It's wartime.
Yeah.
Women
Exactly.
doing work.
We're all a
Let's
little
go.
smudgy.
Am I?
How are you feeling?
Out comes the pocket mirror to check.
You look rough.
Why did no one say
There's
anything?
probably. I mean, Mabel did try to get all the brain matter off of you from when I popped that guy's head like a melon.
Oh yes,
but-
sorry, that brain matter. I thought for a moment.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
gee golly gosh, since Colin has just returned, I would like to let him know that he has a bane, thanks to our good friend Rasputin's ghost.
Oh, thank you, Rasputin.
How dare.
Oh, thank you. That's my first. I don't have another Bane outstanding, do I? That's my first Bane.
I think that's
Please.
it. I think it's so far.
Yep.
We got a boon, but we're on our way
got a
towards a
boon,
bane.
yep.
We're actually 1/3 away towards Verity and the general storyline, which is all I care about. So please keep hitting the
Right.
retweet button.
If you want to save these
Verity needs
people,
a pet general.
get those 69 retweets, and I will scrap every other plan I have for this episode, and it just turns into a pure shipping extravaganza. It will be
Don't worry,
wonderful.
there was
You
no
heard him,
intent.
people. Get tweeting.
Speaking of the general, I do want to remind that you all do have the radio. Verity was carrying it before, but I think someone else grabbed it when you left Ferme Dubois, but you do still have the radio. Just
I probably
throw
have
that out there.
had it. for
You
a
probably
bit.
do.
Also, I would like to spend a good 10 minutes fixing how I look. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Mine
Just
might
got
be
a little
wall,
bit
but
of skull fragment there in the hair.
You know, that reminds me of like IRL the other day when I went out to do a treasure hunt out in town in the pouring rain, and then finally looked in the mirror and I had tried to put on makeup to look good, and then panda eyes, and I was like, none of you tell me, thank you. Like there with friends.
That's when you know which of your friends are really your friends.
You try and do something look all right, and you just look like a complete idiot because you're not wearing waterproof makeup. Oh, well, great.
So Verity, what are you doing to get yourself cleaned up?
Well, need to find some water first. Maybe warm it up a little. No, bit of feeling back into the old girl. And then, clean up. And then I think she probably has somewhere on her person a small, like, little container, like a little metal, almost like a locket type thing. And in there is like a smudge of lipstick. And she's been rationing this stuff for the longest time. She's like just patting it into the lips, tiny bit into the cheeks. Look alive. There we go. And the hair, we'll just cover the whole. It's fine. Oh, the curls are... oh, dear. Well, whatever. Close enough. Pin it up a little bit. There we go.
As you're doing
And
that...
change of clothing out of my little kit.
Ah, okay. As you're doing that, Marcel has been standing next to Judith. Since their conversation in the tunnels, he's felt more of a kinship with her, and he looks to Judith, and then looks over to Verity, and then back to Judith. And he remembers a conversation that they had in the tunnel not so long ago about what a young man of his age should be doing with his life.
Judith will look around to see if there's a radio.
There's the radio that y'all have. Do you mean like like for music radio?
Yeah, just
Yeah. You don't have to spend a truth for that. Yes, there's a radio.
Yep. She'll just she'll click it on, and of course, this being the world that we're creating, I'll be seeing you is playing.
Oh yes.
And so she'll look at him, raise an eyebrow, kind of dart her eyes over to Verity, and just go.
And walks over to Verity, bringing her a fresh cup of tea. He paid attention last time she prepared one, and he knows kind of how she likes it. So it's done just so. I don't know if she's a milk and sugar girl, but
Well, it depends on the tea, really.
Fair.
No, some tea should be served with lemon. Of course, getting a lemon in the war is a whole thing. This is perfect, though. Thank you. How did you know?
Just, pay attention, that's all. How are you
Smart boy.
feeling?
Better. Yes. Much, actually. You?
Better. Yeah. When you were...
would you mind? And she's going to hold up a hairpin so that he can get to a bit at the back that she can't quite angle her tiny mirror to see.
Oh, yeah, sure. Where do you are you just pointing to the spot where you
Yeah,
need
she's
it?
just awkwardly holding this cowl that just needs to be pinned just over at the back.
Sure, yeah. And
Just
he
don't
is very,
poke me in
very
the brain.
tired. He is very, very tired, and they really haven't slept and been running, and so you can feel in your hair, you can feel little strands of your hair that are just shaking a little bit as he puts this pin into your hair. You can feel just bits of his little tips of his fingernails that just are lightly grazing your scalp and just tremoring a little.
No need to be nervous. I'm very gentle.
No, hey. I just need to eat something, I think, and have some water. But I was going to say, when you were out there for a while. It was pretty touch and go for a minute there. I was worried.
I've always loved my dramatics. Here. And she's going to hold out the tea that he's brought. She's taken a sip from the tea, and she'll hold it out to him. I think you could do with some of this.
Oh. Thanks. And he does one of these kind of sips, but like keeps eye contact. Kind of like... Damn good stuff.
Excellent maker. Attention to detail makes all the difference. What are you going to be when the war's over?
Well, I was a farmer. Sort of. My dad was a farmer, and I worked on his farm. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, but it was an alright living. And I don't know. I just know that when this is over, I want to dance. Never used to
Why wait
dance.
until it's over? And she'll turn towards the radio, which she hadn't noticed be turned on, but is now acutely aware of playing.
Oh. All right. Lead on.
I suppose I can lead.
Yeah. You strike me as a leader.
I'm good in all positions. And she'll take his kind of hands and lead him towards a cleared space. And I think she's going to try and position them so that if, she can, she'll kind of set it up so that he ends up dancing with Helen or Judith or Mabel. She's going to try and get everyone kind of involved because this could be their last dance. And she's acutely aware of how quickly you can die. And it just all be gone. So she'll kind of pass him around, so to speak.
You spin him. You kind of spin Marcel, and he's like, "Whoa, okay." And
Pop dance. It's not uncommon, especially for swing dancing or that kind of thing.
he gets spun around and kind of stumbles a little bit, not quite totally sure-footed, and he falls against, his back falls into Helen's arms. Oh, sorry.
It's fine. She'll help him back up.
Thanks. And he, getting in the spirit of it now, kind of turns toward Judith and holds out a hand.
She just kind of smiles at him a little sadly, shakes her head. No, there's only one man I've ever danced to with this song. But thank you.
Sorry.
It's okay. Make your own
Does
memories.
anybody else dance?
I
I think
it's
maybe
fine.
my-
Meanwhile, Alexi is just building this bomb in the corner.
What are you doing?
I think Helen would go over
You don't
and
dance in
sit
the
down
Soviet
with me.
Union.
Yeah, Lexi, I'd like you to roll for making the bomb while they all dance. So, reason engineering.
That works for me. So reason, engineering. I do believe I used the last of my Saboteur kit for our glorious send-off last session, so I don't have that anymore. So that gives me reason, engineering. So an 11 for my target. Let's see, focus. Explosives. Okay. Oh, fantastic.
Fortune point you can do if you'd like to reroll that. If you got any left.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you
I'll burn
can
them.
second time around, but there's plenty of momentum to spend and things.
Yeah, there's
No,
lots
I
of
got
momentum.
fortune. I got a fortune.
All
I
right.
can do that.
Reroll.
Reroll it.
Same parameters. There it is.
Yeah, it's clutch.
Clutch. All right. What's this bomb look like that you made?
Oh gosh, he's probably getting down to the last of his explosives too. So he's probably just stringing everything he can put together for this, because they were like, blow up a wizard, Alexi, and he's like, okay, how do I blow up wizard? And so he's just like, this and some of these, and starts strapping, and he's just like, this should kill most things.
How can fire
Maybe even wizard.
do? Yeah. All right. You make yourself using, what is this, like a? Is this like a jerry-rigged kind of thing that you're using just from like materials you have around?
Yep. Oh, can I?
Like a pressure cooker bomb?
Yeah, kind of. And can I do something now? Because there was the talk of spending momentum. I want to spend some momentum to add a truth since I already rolled. Can I add an adhesive to make it a sticky bomb so that
sticky bomb? Yes.
So we can slap it onto the wizard so that he can't. Yeah.
Wizard bomb. Yes,
Wizard
I love
bomb.
that. Yeah, you blend
Pull
together.
out some bubble gum.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's gonna just collect stuff, because it was like my memory goes back to Saving Private Ryan, where they jury-rigged their stickies to put onto the tanks, and he's just collecting materials from around this bar, and he's just like, give me the gum, give me the leftover grease. He's like, everything, I need it. It's like
the combination of like gum, fryer grease, cornstarch, like a slurry of things that you just very quickly make this little witch's brew, and what you're left with is this very sticky, runny polymer that you could actually, the way you can do this is you can actually spread the goo, the sticky goo, on the back of the bomb, and then just with a simple piece of wax paper, put that over the top to keep it sealed, and then when the time comes, peel off the wax paper and slap it on whatever you need to slap it on. So
I'm
you
sure
emerge.
I'm sure this bar has some cookie sheet wax paper that he can use too.
Absolutely.
So, excellent.
Yeah. So you emerge, bomb in hand, to find everyone dancing in the kitchen. And Marcel has returned. I was saying Marcel has returned to Verity and is now attempting to lead Verity.
And I think she's probably a capable enough dancer that she can let him at least feel like he's leading. If he's not a good dancer, how good a dancer he is. And I think she'll be doing the whole, like, she'll end up in the, cheek to cheek slow dance with him. Just kind of swaying away.
I want to know what Helen's doing, but we will come right back to that. Helen?
Mm-hmm. I don't think Helen would have danced more than like a bar, maybe two, of like, okay, got you up, spin, you're okay now, Mabel. And then she would have sat down in a chair with like the refreshments that Judith has brought out, and kind of in one of her hand that's not sipping tea, holding that name tag that she was holding onto in the barn. Just kind of, kind of like you would do with like a worry stone, just kind of holding onto it.
Just like rubbing it with your thumb, kind of. So, in a generally festive mood, with some reservation, Gaston, who, by the way, looks much better since the last time any of you saw him. No doubt Madame Lemieux had something to do with that. Gaston stands next to Mabel, and just smiles, but smiles and then kind of looks back toward everyone else. Well, I did not see this coming.
Any opportunity could be all over in a moment.
That's true.
Care to? And I'll invite him to dance as well.
Oh, sure. Just go easy on me. Bullets.
Oh,
you
well,
know.
ditto. Oh, yes. Nothing too strenuous. Just a little rocking back and forth.
Yeah.
And we're
I
just,
can see
we're
that.
just chilling. It's more a friendly human contact thing rather than anything else. I think
Yeah.
Mabel probably is reminded of her brothers and is thinking about them a little bit.
Yeah, and the way as you kind of dance, close enough to each other. The way that Gaston has his arms on you is less of a dance and more just of a hug, almost. Just he probably hasn't had that in a long time, and just a little, just loving, friendly affection. And you can see emotion in his face as you dance with him. He is a little bit misty-eyed. I needed this. Thanks.
We all do. Glad you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Do you have this blue, glowing, hilly
Oh, no,
thing?
no, no. If I did, you wouldn't have found me the way you found me under that tree.
Good point.
No, it's really only the priestesses that can do that. Madame Lemieux and chief of all, Marta. Not something I can do. I wasn't
But you are
born
part of...
Ardui. Yeah, I'm more what you'd call a convert, I guess. I believe in what they do, and when I found out about them, I joined myself. As you can tell, I'm not from around here.
I did wonder. I mean, your accent's very good, obviously, really, really good. But
Oh,
it's just
Thank
a little bit on the, a little off, just a little off.
Yeah. Yeah. But I chose my home, and this is it.
What brought you over here? The war, or was this before?
Yeah, war. Well, a little before the war. I was covert ops, same as you. Worked for an organization back in the States that officially doesn't exist. They sent me over here. Wanted to find out what the... wanted to really find out, just assess this area and find out why the Nazis were so interested in it, even before they got here. And that's when I discovered the Ardui. And then I just stopped radioing back after that. I'm with them now.
Oh. Do they think you're dead?
I am dead. At least on paper.
Got you. Well, it's unusual. Could do with your help. Are you planning to come with us?
Yeah. I'll do
Good.
whatever I can to help.
I think I can squeeze you all into that little van, if you don't mind being a little bit snuggly with everybody.
I don't mind.
And look over at
Stay safe.
Verity and
Mm.
you too. No more gut wounds. They're not good. Not pleasant.
No. Won't argue with that. And then as you look to Verity, he also looks over there and says, "What do you suppose that's about?"
I just think that's Verity being Verity, but I have no idea. I don't know her that well. You know, she has a way with... She knows how to present herself. I don't quite have that. But she does.
I think you're presenting yourself very well.
Okay, well, you know, thanks.
Grease and all.
Brings out the glowy cheeks.
Yeah. He just smiles. It doesn't seem like he's really, like, making a move. Like, he's just
Yeah.
being friendly, really. He's
Just, yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Verity, you're dancing cheek to cheek with Marcel, and he is calmed down quite a bit, and the nerves you were feeling before in his shaking hands, he is really just chilled out, and his breathing is regular and his heartbeat slowed, and he just seems relaxed and comfortable.
I think Verity in the dance loses herself a little bit as well, and she starts just humming under her breath to the song.
The song that's playing right now?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Oh, I always love this song.
Yes, it's very pretty.
Yeah, I like your rendition.
Oh,
I like your rendition.
didn't realize I was humming. Awful habit.
That's... I wouldn't say that.
You
So what
could
are
be
you
a
gonna do?
dancer.
Me? Yeah. I could be, with a little more practice.
Practice.
Just need the right teacher.
What about me?
Oh. Yeah.
No, I'm... Yes, alright, I suppose. I meant you were going to ask something. I interrupted.
Oh. Yeah, well, it's related. I was gonna ask what you were gonna do after the war, but now I know that it looks like dance teacher is your chosen profession, so...
I think you will find many wonderful teachers. Not sure I have the patience for it. Besides, I have a world to conquer. Once I'm done saving it.
You know, you say things like that, and the crazy thing is, I believe you.
It's because you're a smart boy.
Well, you're brilliant. And, whatever happens, just... I'm glad I got to meet you.
Don't call me that. And she'll kiss his cheek to distract him from bringing anything else up about her being brilliant, because she doesn't want to hear it right now.
All right. Marcel melts completely. And he kind of gets that kiss on his cheek and blushes and turns his head toward you. as if attempting to work up the courage to kiss you. But as he locks eyes with you, Verity, there is a sudden pounding at the front door of the Black Boar, and you hear shouting voices in German.
Scheiße.
Fuck. And you hear pounding, and then wood beginning to break on the front door.
Time to go.
Get out.
Right. I turn to Madame Lemieux and like, will it still be safe to go out the back? Do you think?
Yes, go!
I don't know if there's a window. Okay. Right, everybody, follow me. And I will lead them and start packing them into the van every which way I can. Madame Lemieux, you need to come. You have things that you can do that we cannot.
Not much
if you
more.
Stay here, you're dead.
Pretty sad.
Go.
I'm not staying here, but she reaches into the oven and hits the prototype bomb that Verity put in there.
I'm jumping and I'm in the front seat. Marcel, as soon as everyone's in, boom.
Marcel breaks away from Verity and just says, like, go, get out the back. And he reaches under a table, grabs a revolver, and gets to the kitchen door and turns to look toward the front door where, through just a checking through the blinds, there's probably a dozen Nazis out front. You can see very clearly. And he just sees one, turns, and just takes a shot through the window at one. And you hear the Nazis shouting because he definitely just scored a hit. And he turns back to everybody else and he says, go, I'll catch right up with you.
I will look at everyone else and see what their faces say, and I will hit the ignition. We're off.
Alexei just kind of shares that look with Helen as the person who probably knows what the go I'll catch up means, and it's just like, okay.
Mm-hmm. She gives him the look like it's decision. Like, we're not a technical unit. We can't give orders.
You all run out the back, pile into the truck. There's only space for 3 people up front, including the driver, so who are the other 2 that want to be in the front seat, if 2 people want to be in the front seat at all?
Lexi will get in the back.
Okay.
Judith will get in the back as well, and then as she's running past Marcel, she just stops real quick and says very softly, "Next year in Jerusalem," and then gets in the
Next year in Jerusalem. Go. And Mabel's driving. Helen, are you in the front seat? Or
I think she'd be in the back because I think that'd be better to
Okay.
shoot from.
Sure.
Potentially, if
All right,
we,
then I'm
should
gonna
we
say
need it?
probably
She's
insist
in the back with her
Rasputin be
feet up,
front.
but so she's shooting out the back.
I'm going to say Gaston hops in the front with Mabel. Alexei, what are you doing?
Oh, he was going to insist that Rasputin be in the front so that he's out of the immediate danger if we get into a shootout, because they'll be
Rasputin
chasing
can
us.
sit between.
Like, do not hurt the
between
dog. Yeah. down in the footbed or between the 2, wherever he can sit comfortably. Co-pilot.
Rasputin pops in the front of the truck, curls up his feet, gets like where Gaston's feet are, and Gaston's legs are like lifted up as Rasputin is laying on the ground. Mabel, as you go to pull out and get the fuck out of here, you see Marcel in the rearview mirror running out the back of the bar and continuing to shoot. As he runs, grabs like the bumper of the truck and hoists himself up and just lands in the bed of the truck with the rest of you, and just goes, "Go!"
I am putting my foot down. I think I'd sort of like, there was a moment of like the foot came off the pedal a little bit as she saw him, and then as soon as he's in, it goes down again.
All right. I'm going to need you to roll coordination vehicles to get the fuck out of here. For right now, you will only need 1 success on this. Unless things change.
All right. Well, I am going to take at least one of those momentum so that I can roll 3 dice. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to do skill tests. I am going to use 3 dice. 3. I am going to roll for 16. Am I correct? 5 and 11. Yeah. And submit. Submit. Yes.
1.
Ooh.
Great.
I'm glad I took that extra dice.
Gaston tells you to take a left out of the alleyway and just floor it. That takes you onto a main road that'll take you out of the north end of our duet and on the road toward where Dark Lake is. So he just tells you hang a left and gun it. As you take the left, get out onto the main road, Mabel slams the accelerator, and you feel all that good work you put into souping up this truck immediately pay off as the response is immediate and powerful. This thing's like, ooh, baby torque, horsepower, yes, other car words. And it just flies. It's incredibly responsive. And you go screaming out of the north side of Arduet. In your rearview mirror, though, Mabel, and Gaston is looking out the window and turning around, he's like, fuck. And there are Nazi, essentially jeeps, that are pursuing you. There are 3 of them. You have a good lead, but they are gaining. So I'm going to treat this as a combat, and we're going to go pass the torch around. Every round will start with Mabel doing some kind of, unless you want to do something else, but for the default, doing some kind of maneuver, some kind of driving shit in order to get away from these vehicles. Everyone else can attack or do whatever the hell they want. But let us start with Mabel. You already have 1 success. Prior, you can keep adding to your pile, and when you get enough successes, you will keep pulling further and further away and get away from them. So they're going to oppose you with their own vehicle rolls. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, sorry, did you want me to roll again now?
Yes, I'd like you to roll again now.
Okay.
And this time it's going to be opposed by me.
I'm rolling the same way though, right? Or is it a specific? Oh wait,
Yes.
is it the combat dice?
Unless you want to change your approach, it will be coordination vehicles. If you want
that's
to
my
change
best.
what you're doing.
Like, it's my best thing. It's my highest thing. So, I would probably be choosing that. So okay, skill test roll. I will take another one of those momentum.
Okay.
So that I roll 3 and hope that I can get some to bounce back into that pool. 16 on the number. 3 successes.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm going to roll against you. I'm only rolling 2. 0 and a complication for me. All right. You're going to add 2 to your momentum pool. That was a difficulty 1. Sorry. That should put you at 3 now.
Should be tricky.
Yep. And the complication, you see that there's 3 jeeps following you. 1 is trying to gain and peel as far ahead as it possibly can and swerves in front of the other one. And they actually tap bumpers and sends that jeep just spinning out while the other one continues to pursue. So now there's only 2 following you. Since you did just beat the shit out of my dudes with those rolls.
Yeah.
So now there's only 2 following you, and you now fancy your odds a hell of a lot better. Who do you want to pass to take another action here? Or if anyone would like to volunteer.
I probably would shout out to the guys in the back something about, like, maybe get some of those grenades that we stacked up ready. Or Helen. something like that. Just any of the guys in the back.
Or just Helen, be Helen.
Yeah.
Do great.
I mean, I'm not exactly a stable, land place for a sniper, but still.
And she's got her spotter there, so she should be good.
Okay. I will then pass it to Helen.
Sure. So we're in the back of a truck. We're being pursued. Do I think it would be easier to pop the driver or pop a tire?
For you, probably a driver.
For you,
Probably the
probably a
driver.
driver. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna aim for the driver then of one of these vehicles
Fuck yeah.
and try to take a shot.
Taking a shot aimed through a scope from the back of a moving truck at another moving vehicle is very difficult.
Yeah.
So
I'd imagine
I am going to
so.
call this difficulty 3.
Is there a
okay.
way we can help by helping to stabilize her? If there's something
or
in the back of
me
the truck,
with
or even
stabilizing
just
the vehicle.
with the tripod,
Yeah. I don't know if you could create a truth and make a tripod. But
how much momentum
I think
do we
Mabel
have?
could potentially help. Oh, that's the combat.
Sorry
dice.
about that. I was just
I think Mabel could
messing with
potentially
something.
help if it's communicated between the two of you, and Mabel drives in such a way to keep it steady as she goes to give Helen so she's not swerving all over the place. So Mabel, if you want to do that, that would be another vehicle roll, and it would just be a help roll, so a 1d20
Okay.
to give Helen an extra die.
So still a coordination and vehicles, wouldn't it?
Yes, but just
I'm
still
happy
just a
to try and do
1d20.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so thing, just one dice.
Mhm.
16, please.
Oh. Ooh. Helen,
Man,
Mabel
my
is
best
focused
roll is
primarily on
awful.
getting out of here. It's a little jerky.
I try and then we hit a bump.
It's totally fine. All right, so I'm gonna use a minor action to aim. So
Smart.
that's me to re-roll a d20. Just take a little extra time to really, hit the trigger when she's on the exhale, because you don't want to hold your breath and do it. You want to do it on the exhale, because that's when you're the steadiest. And just get ready to let her rip, I guess.
You have a crit too, if you'd like to use that.
I do. Let me see if I want to use that. We only have 3 momentum.
You got 3
Yeah,
momentum.
I might want to use the crit and a momentum. Give me 4 dice.
All right.
Total.
Crit down.
It is coordination rifles, right? Or
Yep, coordination fighting. Yep.
it's not agility, it's coordination. Cool.
Yep, and you get bonus CDs from Insight if you have them. If you hit.
Let's see. 4 math. Okay.
All right, difficulty 3. So
20s. Remember. Yes.
can also use a fortune point to get it.
Oh! I got 4 successes and I aimed, but I don't need to re-roll any of them. So,
Oh.
Yeah.
That will give you 1 momentum.
Oh, and no crits, but 4 successes.
crits.
You could fish for a crit with a reroll, right?
You could
Yeah, you
try
could
the
fish for
13.
one.
But I could.
Yeah, you could use your aim
I mean, you
thing
could
to try
try
and get it.
information, but
It's just
I
more
could
momentum.
get I don't.
Oh.
I think we're gonna want that momentum. I think 4 successes is solid.
That's
I hit
good.
the number.
Helen,
Okay, and then I can.
what
Yep.
is going through your mind as you squeeze this trigger?
I think she's thinking back to her last mission when the last mission she was the sole survivor of, and she was the sniper. She wasn't in the truck, but there was a truck pursuing the truck with her allies. They were on the escape route, and she had been outside, and she had sniped the driver but not before they had thrown a grenade into the truck of her allies, and her goal is to not repeat that. So she's just thinking about that and be like, don't think about it, but she's thinking about it.
And whether, as you try to get that out of your mind, and focus only on what's in front of you, the pain of that drives you. And a little sweet revenge is had at the end of a barrel as a bullet soars out of the back of the truck. And again, we see one of Helen's signatures, Sniper Elite 4 X-ray slow-mo bullet shots, as this bullet
and it's one of those things where you see the bullet go through the glass, and then you don't see anything else except red splatter hit the windshield. You just see the windshield go red. Yeah.
And the Jeep immediately begins to swerve and teeter and then turn and roll. It is on fire and is 303, maybe? It is out of commission. There's only one vehicle now pursuing you with a... does anyone else wish to take an action at this time? Helen, do you want to toss it to anyone to back you up?
If anyone looks like they're holding a grenade, she'll...
Alexi
she'll just kind of...
He doesn't have a grenade, but he has his submachine gun out, and...
oh, that's true. That's valid as well.
when the option of shooting the driver or shooting the tires, Alexi's idea is taking out the tire,
just shoot all of it.
Tire and engine.
Yeah,
he's
spray.
just going into the engine bed and tires to try and flip that one.
I think she just leans back then, after I imagine there's some sacks, some rucksacks in the back of this farmer's truck, and she just kind of leans back after that shot and just gives Alexi a pat, okay, your turn, I'm done.
All right, so I will do very much the same. DC's fighting, and it counts as a close quarters weapon because it's a little gun. Were you saying it was agility for that one? Agility and fighting?
Coordination.
Coordination? Okay, just as good.
Coordination, fighting.
Yeah.
And because you're outside of range, it increases the difficulty. I don't think spraying bullets would have been hard on its own, but because you're outside of range, it'll be difficulty 2.
Okay. So 9, that's 12. Okay.
You want to spend a momentum?
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, that's not great.
I'm gonna take the threat you
I'm
just
glad
gave
it wasn't
me.
a grenade.
I'm gonna pay that up into my threat pool. Yeah, that could have gone real bad. Alexi, you haphazardly spray bullets, and you see sparks flying as they ping off of the pavement. But Mabel is flying in this thing right now and just swerving to avoid things and stuff, and you just can't get your aim down as you're getting tossed back and forth, spraying bullets out of the back of the truck. Who do you want to toss it to? I think we still have Judith and Verity haven't gone.
I believe in Judith. She can get the crack shot out. Passing it up.
Yeah, Judith she's had her 1911 A1 out, and it's just been, and they teach you shoot center mass, widest part, and that's what she's going to do. Is she's just going to shoot to the largest area of the truck, which would be the front, hopefully grill, engine compartment. Try and put some in there. So minor action to aim.
Okay. No sense in not doing it.
Yep. And this close quarters just means you don't suffer a penalty if you're in melee with somebody using the gun. It says as long as you're within reach. So I don't know what the reach is considered of handguns.
I was just going to up your difficulty. If you're aiming center mass, like I don't think this is a very difficult shot to make, kind of like what Alexi just did. Helen's was much harder because she's aiming for someone's head through a windshield, through a scope. But here, I was just going to give you a difficulty 2, if that works for you.
Okay.
That would be
Yeah,
your only
that'll
penalty.
work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Momentum?
Are the enemies suffer from a truth or a weakness or vulnerability? Especially having after seen the
Are you trying to?
the other
You want to
truck.
spend a truth here? Is
I
that
have
what you're
I have a talent.
But-
Well, I
Oh.
have a talent that allows me to exploit
Okay.
weakness.
Okay.
That if the enemy is suffering from a truth that is a weakness or a vulnerability, the attack gains a piercing to effect. That's what I was wondering if there's.
Okay.
So
You thought well at aiming for the grill. That is a vulnerable point in the front of the vehicle, and a well-aimed bullet in there, if you get right at the grill, could seriously fuck up the engine of the thing and might just knock it out of commission. So I will give you that truth. You'll have the piercing effect on your
Okay.
shot.
All right, so I'm firing coordination or will with fighting.
Coordination.
Coordination. Okay.
Coordination fighting range.
Coordination with fighting, and I do have a focus in handguns, so yay.
Woohoo, gun focus.
Let's see. Skill test. 2 dice. Y'all, I'm going to take a momentum to
Go for it.
add a
Do it.
d20.
Yeah.
Submit. Target number is not very high. It's 1.
And you aimed
2
so you can
successes.
reroll that 18.
Okay.
Yeah, you could reroll,
I will
yeah.
do that. Okay.
Reroll that 1d20.
Nope.
Nope.
That was
Okay.
worse.
That's all right. 2 successes, though. That was the shot you needed. You aim the 1911, get down the sights, wait for Mabel to steady off just enough to take the shot, and you hear a very satisfying ping as it pierces through the grille and into the engine of the car, and the engine begins smoking. This is going to slow it down, and Verity, do you have an action here?
Want me to roll dice?
Yes, actually do roll damage. Roll the combat dice for it, and that'll determine
Okay, so-
basically how fucked up it is.
So it has a piercing 2 effect, but so under my combat dice, I think I'm rolling 4 plus 2
Mhm.
because of. So I rolled 6 altogether, correct?
Yes.
Okay. 6, 7.
Nice.
Nice. 4 damage. It's not out of commission, but you can see that you made an impression on that vehicle, shall we say. It's smoking. Verity, do you have an action here?
Yes, I'd like to turn on the radio and send out a coded message to my good friends at HQ. Something along the
Okay,
lines
what are you trying
of
to say?
SOS, big fuck, SOS.
Okay.
It's
roll
basically a
your
distress
cryptography.
signal for our approximate location, is what she's sending out. Because even though we're not going to be here,
Got it.
there still could be Germans in the area, and if we can get some backup here, that'd be nice.
Got it. Sounds good. All right.
So,
Difficulty 1. Reason Academia specialization in cryptography.
alright, cool. Alright, so 16. Yes. I'll spend a momentum because I really would like some backup here, because we've got a lot to deal with. Although we're taking out these trucks still. Focus 5. 2 successes.
There you go. Get that momentum right back. And yes, you send the message through. You get an immediate response. You get just a Morse code, Roger, received, right away. And then moments later, you hear tap back. Essentially, you run the calculation in your head very, very quickly to decode it, and it seems as like it's General Strang because it just sounds like something he would say. The message reads, "The cavalry is coming."
And she's gonna keep the radio on and begin searching frequencies in case she can catch a German communique anywhere or anything they're up to.
All right, we're gonna go back to Mabel's roll. Mabel, I'm actually gonna say with a success here on, we can cut this all short with a difficulty 2 roll here. If you succeed, because the other vehicles slow down, you can get well enough away to be safe. If you get 2 successes on this roll.
Okie dokie. All right. We'll go for coordination and vehicles. I will take one of those momentum. Did you say it's difficulty 1, and I need 2 successes?
You need 2 successes.
Okay. Sorry.
It's difficulty 2. You need 2 successes. Yeah.
Okay. Do I give you a threat to have 4 dice to play with? Yes. All right. So you can take a threat. I will take a momentum.
You could take the last 2 momentum and get 5 if you wanted.
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose. Yes, because there's good odds that I will win those back. So we'll do it. Damn it.
All right.
All right. Bye bye momentum. Don't fail me now. Wait.
2 successes.
Hold on a second. Let me just do this again. Right. So it's 5 here. Target number. Click. Oh God. Everything's died.
Oh!
5 successes. Thank you very much. We'll take all that momentum back.
Well, you get 3 of it. Thank you. Oh, well, that's actually where you started. Yeah, so you do get it all back. Mabel, tell me how fucking cool it is when you get away. Paint me a word picture as you leave our duet, headed on the country roads going north toward the monastery.
Let's say that so I'm looking in the rear view, and seeing what's going on. One vehicle making another one roll and hit trees, another one just going blood splatter, stop, roll, and this last one where Judith hits it right in the the nasty bits for the car at least, and the smoke rising, and Mabel, yes, is watching that. The little hanging spoon just sort of rattling and gives her a little bit of a extra boost, and there is a particularly sort of wet patch in this foresty road that they're on, I'm assuming, and there's a lot of mud, so she basically slows a little bit, lets it catch up just a tad, and then just revs and mud splatters onto that car and all over the windshield, and speeds off with them literally in the dust, but not even in the dust, in the mud. They are covered in mud. The muck. And we head off into the thing.
Yeah, Mabel, you are absolutely just back in your element. You are feeling alive driving this thing right now, and it's so responsive to you, and it's just singing as you fly down the road. And Gaston gives you directions where to head.
It's like we're a rally car driving, it's like turn, skidding around a corner, and yeah.
Right, yeah, and you're just having a ball with it. And he tells you to head north out of town, head down these dirt roads where you can't drive quite as quick anymore. but that he knows a way that can get you all very close to Dark Lake and very close to the monastery. You'll have to cut the engine. There's a hill there. You'll have to cut the engine and just like coast to keep the noise down to get down the hill, but he can get you very, very close. And
Cool.
as you follow his directions, you all make your way after stashing the truck at the edge of the woods and Gaston leading everyone on toward Dark Lake and toward the monastery. You emerge, if you're looking at the map, you actually emerge not where it says there, it says arrival point. You're actually going to be on the south side, over here, right around, I put a green X on the map, near that barn. And as you look out at the area, you can see the ruins of the monastery. Straight on ahead of you is this ramshackle kind of barn. Further away is this old way house just beyond it. To the right, you can see the lake, just winter sunlight glistening off the water. And on the far end is the stables. You don't see anyone around that barn. You don't really see anyone at all, but what you hear coming from the direction of the lake is just this low sort of chanting.
I think Judith just starts moving towards the altar. Or towards the lake, if that's where the sound is coming from. She figures they're probably wanting to start as quickly as possible, so, to raise their unholy thing.
Okay. Anyone following or investigating another building or something?
I think Helen's looking through her scope and scanning the area.
Yeah, so from where you are, you don't have a line on where that altar is. You can see that there are some robed figures that are moving back and forth near there. They kind of go behind the wall and then back out again. They're wearing black robes with hoods. You can see the emblem of the black sun. You can see some men in, well, you can't tell men, women, what, but some people in crimson robes as well that seem to be conversing with them. There's a few, certainly.
All right, we've got black robes, we've got crimson robes. Definitely a decent number of them. Creepy chanting.
Should we see
Alexi's
if anyone's in
gonna-
this barn before we...
Lexi will follow Judith, following the signs of the chanting. Getting close, nice and sneaky.
Are you going like sort of moving up building to building kind of like for cover? Or just...
Yeah, absolutely. Very slow, very careful, trying not to be out in the open for too long.
Okay. Alexi and Judith,
I think Judith
Go ahead.
with the trees and then heading towards the reed bed.
Okay. As you get Alexi, you said you were going like building to building, sort of like wall. When you get to the wall of that little barn in front of you, you get your back to it. There is a window there, and as you turn your head just to peer, make sure it's clear, Judith is just out ahead of you at the edge now of the building, heading toward those reeds, like she said. But Alexi, something catches your eye, very much so, as you peer around this window. There's no one in there. There's no one in the barn. but the walls of the barn are covered, like floor to ceiling, in maps. There is a radio set up there. Looks like a German, one of the Nazi technology like radios that the military uses. There is an Enigma code machine set up there as well. And on the walls, plastered floor to ceiling, are maps. And it's light enough that even from the light from the window, you see that these are very clearly German war plans. And you do speak German, so
Yep.
written on the wall above all these things is "Watch on the Rhine."
Yeah, he's gonna deviate and go into this room because these are important. There are some people back in Moscow who would love to have their hands on these.
Yeah, Judith. Alexei has broken off from you and has gone into this barn. You see, Alexei, you can easily get through the window, and there's also a door, but it is empty. And Judith, as you move ahead, you see that Alexei is no longer there, and you just kind of see. Do you want to go through the window or the door, Alexei?
I'll take the door. The window seems more complicated.
You see the door to that barn. You see that door to that barn just closing behind Alexei as he goes in.
It's just like, she figures the only thing that would make Alexei stop moving towards the chanting is that there's something more important, like what it's Marta something. So she's just like, and turns around and follows him into the barn.
Alexei, as you get in there first, you look at these maps and you are stunned by what you're seeing. This is insanity. This is a plan sketched out all across these walls to push into Allied territory through the Ardennes, where you are right now, and take the port of Antwerp in 2 weeks. This operation, well, the operation is due to take about 2 weeks. This operation is due to start any day now. This is a massive commitment of troops. You see that they are pulling, you can see the troop movement showing that they're pulling men off of the Eastern Front against the Soviet Union to push west into Belgium. Hundreds of thousands of troops. You are a seasoned veteran of war. You know that this plan means hundreds of thousands of lives. Allied lives. Americans, British, French. A lot of people are going to die if this plan happens.
He's gonna look it over, and these are drawn onto the wall, or are they like sketchings posted?
They're maps that are posted. They're printed maps, and there are like tacks and stuff in them showing troop movements.
Great. He's gonna.
The rest
start
of you saw
pulling those.
Alexei go in there. Are you gonna start pulling them off the wall?
He's gonna just be pulling these down because this is important information.
Okay. Mabel, Helen, Verity. Judith and Alexei went ahead. Alexei got into the barn. Where are y'all going?
I look at Mabel and Verity, and I'm like, I'm best from a distance. Surely the leader, this wizard, sorcerer, whatever, looks a bit more done up than the rest of these robed figures. If I see him, I'll take a shot.
Do we stick to the
Y'all
tree
cool,
line
guys?
or follow these guys?
I'll stick to the tree line and try to transfer over to the reeds. I think that'll give me the best view.
I don't have a long distance weapon. I literally have this, and I pull out my little concealed gun and
Oh yeah.
those three grenades on her belt. Like,
Might want to go with Judith and Alexei.
yes.
You're gonna go catch up with them,
Yeah.
Mabel? Okay.
I
And
will sort of try and catch up, but like stay. I don't want to like hinder them because she knows she's not quite as elite as them. So it's like I will stick near them to try and assist, but not fuck up what they're trying to do. Is kind of her.
You can kind of stay for like a bit back in cover or catch up quickly if needed. Like, yeah.
And Verity.
Verity is gonna stay with that radio, and with the truck until the truck is in danger. With her injured leg, she can't move that quickly anyway. And also, she has something very important to figure out right now, and that is which one of her teammates or allies is about to fuck this up for them. And she knows time is running out to figure that out. She was warned by Sarah, someone close, and she needs to figure it out before it happens. So, under the guise of like working with the radio, Verity's brain is going to be kicking in, running through past conversations, past information, and she's working on that. In her hand, her little boot gun. But really, she's focusing on that. She's just ducked down in that truck, working.
And I think Helen will grab, I'm sure there's, again, sacks of cloth and things in the back for farmer stuff. She'll find a lighter colored one and be like, if you need help, just throw this out the window or stick it out. I'll keep an eye on you.
All right. Be safe. She'll stick her finger up and figure out which way the wind's blowing so she can give spotter information to Helen, even though Helen is perfectly capable of figuring it out by herself.
It's blowing west, shall we say.
West wind.
Judith.
Yes.
You open the door to see Alexei pulling maps off the wall. And you see
Where
the
are
words
Marcel and
"Watch on
Gaston?"
the right. Marcel and Gaston are together. They are back with Mabel, and you don't really know where Mabel's heading right now, but they stuck with her. They both have their weapons drawn, and they are keeping... Mabel said she was catching up, but trying to stay out of the way, so they are back with her.
Okay. So Judith steps in and she looks around and sees all of this. She walks over to stand next to Alexei. Oh, fuck. And then she puts the muzzle of the well rod to the back of his head, pulls the trigger. Sorry.
No, that's cool.
I have my orders.
I ain't even mad. That's great.
I lost my hat.
Alexei?
Can't. No, it's cool because I was gonna bum rush the wizard and blow Alexei up too, so it's fine. I did not expect to make it out of this episode.
Alexei, you have... I'm not going to make Judith roll for this. It's a point-blank shot to the back of your head.
No, don't roll. I'm good.
And he's unaware, and yeah, that's going to be massive damage.
Uh-huh. He's gone. He doesn't wear a helmet.
Alexei.
He wasn't prepared.
What are you thinking in your last moment? You and Judith have become closer in just the last few days. She's become a friend, and you apologized to her just last episode for the way her people were treated in Russia. You've tried to make amends, but the last thing you ever see is her putting a gun to your head, and the last thing you ever feel is cold steel against your scalp, followed by a hot flash, and then nothing. What
And I'm
does Alexei see?
sorry in Russian.
Yeah, the sequence of events in his mind, hearing the door open, he sees that it's Judith. He would have like gestured and been like, "Look, this is important, you know. Yeah, I deviated, but we need to get this down." And he probably starts to say, "Help me take this down." And then he turns and he sees the gun, and there's just that recognition, and he just kind of closes his eyes and accepts it. He's a he's a horrible person. He's killed many people, and while he may not have had a hand in Judas people's suffering, he's done horrible things in Spain and other places, and so he's just like, it's time. But he would have also had set the bag of explosives down, so there wouldn't have been any risk of blowing the whole shed when he got shot. So that's there, all of his gear.
Judith, your
Yeah.
friend Alexei, a real mensch, crumbles, falls backward, and is gone.
And she's right at the moment, but there will be tears later. Definitely going to be tears later.
See this?
Were you entering, Mabel? Were you entering the barn?
So, okay, I'm thinking timing wise. Like, he went in, she came in like not long after, and I was coming up to the edge of the barn, and I was probably starting to work my way around to sort of peer in to see. I wasn't going to walk in, but I was probably thinking. So I will definitely hear the gunshot. It's just whether or not I am peering around the thing to see what actually happens. And I'm happy to
It is a
roll
silence. It's a well rod, so it's a
random-
silence gun. But it does. Even
Yeah.
a silence gun makes
You
noise.
still hear it, right? Though, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm right at
And
the barn
especially-
at that point.
Especially at the distance.
It's suppressed.
Mabel would hear it. Helen probably wouldn't, but Mabel would hear it.
Yeah, it's
I'm-
let me see if I can find
Going to spend.
attacks with the
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm going to spend 2 threat.
Sorry.
I'm going to spend 2 threat to just create a truth, which is, Mabel, you saw what just happened. As you turn and peer through the door, you just see Judith shoot Alexei in the back of the head.
I think Mabel will instantly back to the barn door, barn wall, turn back round. And you said that Marcel and
Gaston.
Gaston are both there with me potentially as well.
Yes, they are with
So
you.
she's definitely been and my face kind of says it all a little bit because they probably also heard a gunshot. And she'll, I don't know how big this barn is regarding sound and stuff, but she'll be like, "Oh, Judith just shot Alexei. I don't know why. What the fuck do we do?" And she's holding her little gun and thinking about how badass Judith is, and is not really sure what to do next. But it's just kind of also ready for if she walks around the corner, she's trying to be ready. But she has no way to communicate to the others at the moment what the heck has just happened, unless Helen maybe is looking through her scope at them and can just see how white Mabel has gone right now. That's it.
No, what Helen sees, looking toward, as Helen has moved up and is getting a line toward the altar. Helen, what
I'm
you
getting
see...
a line for that sorcerer dude. And while I was going along, I was swapping out my ammo for the ammo that came with the guns, so the fancy ammo with all the sigils
magic
on it
ammo.
and stuff. Yeah, the magic. I'm using magic ammo on the sorcerer, Colin.
Helen, you
seems
can
to make
see
sense.
the altar now. And even though it is quite far away,
It's okay, my range is extreme.
Oh yeah, I know. That's not the issue. But even though it's quite far away, you can still, you swear, hear what they are saying as if directly in
Oh,
your
no.
mind.
That's awful.
And you hear a voice, a deep voice, chanting.
Kadrich narin I throra drilioara partviganan hun, bide arras feistiaretan galler halder pannal, bide quanni kimerwa flandi grifeganon esiger fiafinotan.
Man, all this
And
fucking
you
Welsh.
see,
I
and you
can't understand
see,
any of it.
you see a woman being taken from the way house and forcibly dragged, feet scraping along the ground, toward the altar, where this cowled man in a red cowl robe now stands.
Is he the only one in the red cowled robe? Or the
There are
fanciest
more than
red
one.
cowled robe?
There are more than one. Right now, you clock a total of 5 people, 3 of whom are in red robes, 2 of whom are in black robes. But he is the one standing central at the altar with his hands raised high.
Because cults usually the cult leaders usually like to feel really self-important. So she's gonna assume that's what it is. So her first shot's gonna go for this punk, and then if need to, she'll take out Marta as well. But she's gonna aim for him first because that might dishearten the rest of these cultists. Mayhaps.
All right. Aim true.
So, yeah, minor action to aim. I'm spending a fortune to get a crit.
Auto crit. Okay.
To auto crit. I will also spend momentum to get more dice, please.
Okay.
No, here it is, Colin. I have not given you a threat this whole game. I will give you a threat to get. I want to roll 4 dice.
Okay.
Okay.
Instead of that momentum, or with the moment? Also the
no,
momentum
in
spend.
addition to the momentum. Yes.
Great. So you're on 4 dice.
4 dice. Yes. My target number is.
Strike true.
Is 4. So, a complication.
Wow.
However,
Yeah.
that is 2,
5
4,
successes.
6, 7 successes.
7. Oh.
Because it doesn't double the crits automatically, so it says 3. So.
Oh, plus you have you spent a fortune too.
Yes. So 7
normal...
successes, please.
Holy shit! Maximum momentum. Your normal damage on that gun is.
And I'm guessing he wasn't expecting it. So I would get my assassin talent, which makes it a intense attack.
Yes. You're normally 8 damage, right?
Yes, I normally 8 combat dice. Yes. Does the magic ammo do anything?
And you will. That basically is what the magic ammo does. Is basically allow you to do damage to him at all.
That's cool. All right. So. 8.
I'm gonna say roll with 7 successes. Roll 12 damage dice.
Whoo-hoo! Snap, crackle, pop. Let's go. How about 8 little thingy-majiggers? We got Cthulhu faces and 2 bullet holes.
And 2 injuries. Because if you cause 1 injury, you cause another, right? That's your intense attack?
That's what the intense effect does. So however many injuries he has, add another one onto it.
Well, he got 1 immediately from you doing 5 stress at once. And so that is an immediate injury plus 2, and a lieutenant NPC, which he is, can only take 2 injuries before they die. So, tell me, Helen, what happens?
So she's gone to the edge of the woods. I feel like she like army crawled over to the reeds, set her up. So she's, it's cold, it's damp, it's wet. But the primary thing here is to not let whatever horrible Protean Welsh speaking occult magic thing happen that's going to happen because these are the bad guys. And this war just needs to be over. And so, she lines up the shot. She's looking for the target. She sees one. She sees the other. She hopes she doesn't have to take that second one out. So she just breathes and then pulls the trigger.
Sorry, I forgot my thing.
You're muted.
You strike him. You strike him center mass, just perfectly placed. You would have hit the heart. And as his arms are raised and he's standing above this altar, you see the woman, as soon as the gunshot rings, it's far enough away that you have just enough time to notice the effect as the minute that the shot is fired, the men dragging the woman drop her and duck low. She falls face first onto the dirt, but they cover themselves as this sorcerer, with his arms raised above his head, takes a shot square to the heart and falls backward into the lake and disappears beneath the dark waters. Meanwhile, Mabel, you and Verity, you have completed your calculations, and you are correct. It just makes sense.
Is there anything
And you
that
know
makes
now
sense?
that your friends are in danger.
Shit.
What do you do?
I am going to scramble into the front of this truck and drive very rapidly towards Mabel.
Oh, shit. All right.
I'm fine. I'm an
I'm not-
action woman. I read the manual at one point. I'm sure this is fine.
She did the
That's
reading.
the principles of how it works.
If a
Must be
princess can
mentioned.
do it, you can do it.
Damn
Verity
straight.
starts the engine. And begins to gun it. Back at the barn, Mabel, what do you do? Judith, you've shot Alexei. What are you doing? What is Mabel seeing in that barn?
Mabel is not watching anymore
Okay.
because she doesn't want to get seen. She instantly saw that happen and turned away, but is ready for if she comes around the corner, just so you know.
So Judith is quickly pulling down as many of the maps as she can and just kind of tearing them loose. And she's got her Zippo out, and she's just lighting corners of paper as much as she can. Maybe, no more than 15, 30 seconds of doing that. Then she takes Alexi's bag and pulls out the explosives, sets the big bomb on top of the radio, pulls out any grenades, looks around, looks at Alexei, and in Russian says, "I'm sorry, I liked you. I will commend you for the Order of Victory." Pulls the pins, drops the grenades, and walks out of the barn.
In that amount of
Mabel?
time, I feel like I would be paying attention to what's going on because it's that, there's a decent amount of stuff there. So, man, I think the main thing is that Mabel has no idea where this happened. She doesn't know what is being said in Russian. So she has no idea. She has no idea that Judith is a traitor. She just knows that Judith shot another member of the team. She doesn't know why. And so she is, I think even if she had an amazing gun and stuff, I don't think Mabel would be just shooting Judith dead if she had the opportunity. She wants to know why. What has happened. So I think she will peek around and watch and see explosives and stuff. Man, what would she do? I think she would. I think she would just watch, and when she sees that explosives are being laid, she will beckon to the others that they're going to need to run. But I don't know what the timing of cars driving and stuff is.
There's a lot of things that are about to happen at once here.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
Mabel,
man. Yeah.
you see
I'm
Judith.
trying to decide if she was trying to shoot Judith at all, but like, I don't know.
You see Judith starting to light things when you see her pull the pins on the grenade.
Oh.
You look back to Gaston and Marcel. Tell them to run. Judith, as you pull the pins on the grenades and begin to move out of the barn, you can see through the window the truck with Verity behind the wheel, screaming in your direction. What do you do? And you have a very short time to decide, because you obviously can't be in this barn when those grenades go off.
Yeah. No, she's running faster away from the barn. And away from the truck. I mean, she's running like at a 45-degree angle away from it, back towards the trees, but she's definitely heading away.
As you run out of the barn, you see Mabel, Gaston, and Marcel.
Not being subtle.
Also running. I'm going to spend a bit of threat here. So Marcel turns and levels his revolver on you, Judith. And he says, "Next year in Jerusalem?" Why'd you do it? You one of them? All that was bullshit? You gave me that sob story? And you're a fucking Nazi? Is that it? You sick human. Tell me!
No, I don't owe you anything. And she's still running.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot.
Okay.
If you're gonna run, he's gonna shoot. And I'm going to spend threat I'm gonna spend 3 threat to give myself 2 extra dice.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend my crit to give myself 5.
Okay.
Oop, sorry, that was the wrong. My bad.
Did you roll that anyways, though?
Oh god, yeah, that's amazing. That's never happened before.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. 6 successes.
6 successes. Ouch.
All right.
I have +1 armor, so that takes it to 5, correct?
Yeah, you'll negate the harm. I'm about to do the damage. You'll negate one of it.
Okay.
3. So negate 2. You take 2 stress. So bullet catches you in the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And I will spend my final threat to say that that's when the bombs go off. Verity, you are
Okay.
turning out of the woods. You see your friends running. You see Marcel shoot Judith, and then the barn explodes. What do you do, Verity?
Slam on the brake and drift out the back end to try and turn myself around, I guess.
All right, roll a coordination vehicle roll.
Right. Can I use? I read the manual, whatever it was. I did the reading.
Oh yeah, did the reading.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
did the
it's
reading.
gonna be a 15. No focus. And we got. Oh, I'm gonna spend. Can I spend momentum on this? Is that allowed?
No. This is I'm considering this a PvP spend, so no.
Yeah, that's what I checked. All right. Beep. One
You can give me
success.
threat though. One
Too late,
success.
already rolled.
Whatever. You burn out the back end. Avoid the explosion. And then catch up to Helen, Mabel, Judith, and Gaston. Marcel still has his gun trained on Judith. Gaston has drawn his as well. You're now safe from the explosion. You've heard the gunshot from Helen. Helen, do you keep your scope down on where you just fired? Also,
For
big
now,
explosion
yes,
just went on.
because mission objective, yeah, she figures that's Alexi's doing. Because mission objective was to get her out or to stop information. Side objective was make sure no culty bad things happened. That came up, during the mission. So she killed the head cultist, but now she's got to figure out if the lady's going to run for it to the truck or towards the explosion, assuming that's allied help, or if she's got to start popping more heads. So her scope is trained downwind. She's done it. New bullet in the chamber, ready to go.
You see that they are scattering now. Having killed their leader, they are in full panic and are scattering. And they
and then the explosion
woman,
happens, and I assume they scatter
and then the
more.
explosion happens, and they really start to bail. And it seems like with their leader dead, whatever they wanted with Marta Archambaud, they can't do anymore. So they leave her face down on the ground and bail. Just take the fuck off, headed on the north side, and leave her there.
Does she get up? Is she moving? Is she conscious?
You can see her like trying to. She's very, very unsteady.
In that case, Helen will break cover. She doesn't like to fire off more than a few shots from a specific location anyways, because that's the easiest way to get found out as a sniper, is to keep sniping from the same spot. So she'll sling it, she'll pull out the pistol and cover, because she figures by the time she gets to her, they should have mostly cleared out by now and help her up, because she doesn't want to have to kill this lady, especially since Verity said she wasn't the spy. Maybe, perhaps, or hadn't let anything slip because it didn't make sense, so she'd like to take this nice lady back to the rest of the village, to be like, hey, look, she's cool. So she's running, pistol out.
You reach her. She looks extremely confused as you approach her, but can tell you're not one of them, and she reaches up her hand just for any assistance to help stand.
Yeah, let's get you out of here. Hey, we're allies. Let's go.
And you help support her and head back in the
I'll
direction of
even
your
carry her
friends.
if I need to.
Okay, yeah. Fireman's carry,
because she's strong. Helen has athletics 4 plus agility 10 and bronze, so she's strong.
So you head back
to the truck
toward all your carry your back. And Verity, you've skidded to a stop, and you see your friends of all pointing guns at each other. What conversation is happening? They still have guns trained on Judith, and Marcel is insisting to know why you did it.
Alexi's an NKVD operative.
So
what was in the barn were things that cannot get back to the Soviets.
was your friend.
Bring her with us. We don't have time.
Come on.
Drop
on,
your
Judith.
weapons, Judith.
Hmm?
Drop your weapons.
She drops the guns.
Marcel and Gaston approach you, weapons drawn, to lead you to the truck where Verity's waiting. Helen, you return to
goes with
find
them.
Judith. You return to find Judith under gun from your allies.
Okay, she's not in the position to ask questions. She just gently lays the lady down, flips the truck bed back up, hops in, and has the rifle out to cover from behind. They seem to have whatever it is.
I slide in. I push Verity to the next seat, jump in the driver's seat, and turn this baby. Well, we've already turned around, but we're trying to head off
Judith
without
has
being
one-
shot in the back of the head by Judith.
Judith has one question. Is Marta conscious?
Yeah.
She looks down at her.
I'm sorry, you cut out there for a second.
Have you been in the barn?
No?
Good. And then Judith will just sit back and wait.
You get Marta out. You get a transmission from General Strang, a response to Verity, that says, "I told you the cavalry was coming." It takes a short time, but they do arrive. You're airlifted out. A few weeks later, after all of you were safe, back in England, convalescing, a few weeks later, all hell breaks loose in the Ardennes. So the Nazis do push in, and they do take the village of Bastogne and some of you, and they do kill 90,000 Americans. But no one knew. And meanwhile, back in that same darkened office, the phone rings again.
Yes, sir. Agent Owl was captured, but the mission was a success, General Eisenhower. No. No word of Watch on the Rhine ever got out. Just shortened the war by 6 months. If the Nazis want to shoot themselves in the foot, why not let them? Brilliant strategy, General. I look forward to working with you again. Till next time. Goodbye, General.
And that is where we end this season of Achtung Cthulhu.
What?
I wasn't the only survivor.
Poor Alexi died, but the rest of us survived. I'm so surprised.
Oh,
Yeah, I
hi,
know.
buddy. Sorry we're late.
Oh.
Had to work out how to make that happen at the end there quickly. Judith lived! I didn't think Judith was going to survive, but Alexi didn't.
I didn't either.
It was, I mean, like maybe if it was someone not Mabel, but I couldn't
Yeah,
justify
pretty
shooting
sure.
her with no proof of anything.
Pretty sure she's going to be executed. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Something's weird, yeah. Oh, my
Or maybe
goodness, well
not.
done,
Maybe
everyone.
she mysteriously disappears.
Yes, all the rest of
Not
us
sure
just.
what will happen in the future, but what I'm gonna suggest, Colin, is we offer a maybe post-credit scene, a my head canon for the next 6
Oh, that's a
months
great idea.
scene. This
Yeah, that's a
isn't
great
gonna be
idea.
official canon because who knows, we might come back. But let's do that. And why don't we begin with the tricksy lady herself over there, Madame Judith, played by the wonderful cleric of Cord, aka Cat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm at Cleric of Cord. It's been a long couple of months. It has been a long couple of months holding all of this, dealing with all of this, and aware that Judith could very well die at the end, that she may have to take out everybody, that these were her friends. This is gonna hurt. This one hurts a lot. Rindis, what can I say? I'm sorry. Judith,
Like I said, I would have been disappointed if it was anyone else.
oh.
I was
Yeah.
so sad and also happy that it was you who found the plans, because you guys had bonded so well in the last episode, and I was like, man, I bet you it's gonna be fucking Rindis. And it was whoever found those maps first was gonna be the one she was gonna kill, and it happened to be you.
Yeah. And
There was just a moment that. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, thank God it was you, so I could blow up the barn. I get rid of it. Didn't have to worry about killing everybody else as they came in. It just made it easier, actually. No, that this has been rough, and yeah, I have things. There's a lot, and it'll all get written down and probably posted somewhere at some point. I mean, thank you for Judith. About having Alexi teach Judith, she learned from him, and it's appreciated. She respects all of the whole team. But you can find me as at Cleric of Cord. I'm hanging out in different Discord servers. I drink, I roll dice, I play games on the internet with my friends. I'll see y'all on the internet.
What's your very quickly, Kat? What is your headcanon post credits 6 months from now?
Judith was taken into custody, was questioned, and disappeared before there was anything more than preliminary questioning.
I'd buy that.
And she
I ain't
has
saying
been,
it's canon, but I'd buy that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go down then to the man who didn't make it. The hero of Stalingrad, Alexei Sokolov.
Hi, I'm Brindis of Party Wipe Games, formerly Alexei Sokolov. NVKD did not make it to KGB, but he is the true champion of the SECP. I could continue doing the epic rap battle lines all day, but I will speed this up. You can find me here on Encounter Roleplay anytime that they have spots open, because I jump at them desperately because I enjoy being here. And you can find us on our own channel, Party Wipe Games. We play all kinds of games. Tonight at 8:30, we will be playing more of Vampire the Masquerade. They have a Cambria-based coterie in Phoenix, and they are currently investigating a mystery, and they think that a Samichi is responsible for doing some gruesome artwork in the town of the city of Phoenix. So that's fun. We also do a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. One of our games is on hiatus until the new year. And we also do Tales from the Loop / Things from the Flood. And I took a page from Colin's playbook, and I have all of the teens questioning their own existences with just 3 words, or 4 words. You have to wake up. There was an ending scene where each of them got different messages telling them they need to wake up, and they are all panicking, and it's amazing. So
I'm going to say, I know you died, but my headcanon post credits for Sokolov, of course, is that he did get awarded the posthumous Order of Victory from the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
For conspicuous gallantry in the face of the enemy. On recommendation from an anonymous benefactor. and
Sent back a hero.
Helen.
Hi, so I'll do my spiel first. Hi, I'm Lindy, Laugh Love Lindy, tabletop RPG addict. You can find me on my channel, different days of the week. Follow me on Twitter for what's when. But there's definitely Ravenloft tonight, and on just a couple minutes on Looking for More Network, I will be GMing some spooky Pulp Cthulhu. Oh gosh, Helen, this was a super fun campaign. She wanted to ask questions upon getting back to the truck with, like, mission objective. Like, all right, popped the leader, got the mission objective. Good job blowing up the barn, but
What the fuck
is
happened
happening
while I
here?
was gone?
You know what? I did mission objective, and not everyone else is dead, so I'm gonna take that as a win, and we can go. I was like, no, I don't want her to have to crawl out by herself through the woods. This would be the worst. My headcanon for 6 months from now, I think, well, first of all, Helen adopts Rasputin because, Alexi can't take care of him anymore, and she's the one who spent the next most time with him. And he was a good boy around sheep, so he was a good boy. And I think Helen, she still would have done military stuff, but I think she would have been given a bit of leave after that mission. And I think Verity would have taken her and Mabel out to go dancing and get some dates. Verity been like, come out, you are two beautiful young ladies, come get, you're gonna grab a boy, go dance, we're gonna go get dinner, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna go on a date. And Helen would have had to deal with some feels and things, but probably would have been in a little bit of a better place after that, having made some good friends who didn't die in a covert mission for once.
Yeah, I really thought the Soul Survivor thing was going to happen again at the end.
I was so scared. I was like, oh no!
I had considered doing it. I'm like, should I just spend the threat to just make them all get caught in the explosion and then Helen's left alone? Not a bad ending. I don't know. Do I want to do that to her again? I don't know.
And she ended with 304 confirmed kills. Started the season with 300. So.
Shit, yeah, and they were all great kills too.
They're all. Yeah.
And.
Never missed.
Mabel.
Yes, hi everyone. I will also do the same of just doing the general shout outs of hi everyone, I'm Kate Madison. You can find me here on Twitch under Kate Madison or Actors at Work on various socials. I'm doing various streams on my own channel this week. I also have the D&D game on Chaotic Neutral Games every Friday, so come and see that. And this coming weekend I am planning, although the plan is still being laid, to do a charity stream on my own stream over the weekend, possibly a 24-hour charity stream. Still locking down which charity, but there are so many amazing ones, it's hard to figure out which one to give money to. But I'm going to do that, so if anyone wants to join me for that and just try and keep me awake and stuff, that's probably not going to be the hardest thing, but come join me for that. That would be appreciated. Okay, gosh, I did not know how to deal with that. So I was like, should I shoot her? If I think she'd just kill me because I think I wanted to try and wound her a little bit, but just so she'd drop weapons and not shoot anyone else and then just talk. But oh my goodness, yeah, that Mabel felt very out of her depth. So I think the next 6 months for Mabel is going back into training to become even sort of like more badass. She like tries to actually learn German and French and things that will be useful. She learns some other skills that aren't just driving, and just like when she takes the van, when they finally get the van back, which actually is surprisingly a good nick considering. I would like to add because that the gentleman who loaned us the thing, when he hears what we've done, actually gifts her the little spoon that was in the vehicle. So she gets that as a memento of everything that happened. So that's her pet spoon for anyone, the person who donated that. And yes, and so she goes away to try and level herself up. I think she's still, Mabel underneath, but
I have great news for you though. I have great news for you, which is that if it's 6 months in the future, if you go to way to level yourself up for a while, Hitler dies on April 30th, 1945. That's like only about 5 months from where you are right now. So Mabel goes to get all ready to go fight and get back in the war effort. and then the war ends.
Oh,
And
So
the
you
day
never
after
get
the
to go
war
back.
ends, a basket is delivered to Mabel with teas and scones and jams.
and
Well,
I don't
somewhere
know whether
Judith
her
is getting
brothers
a card.
survive. We will leave that to the mystery, but maybe she enjoys those for some special people. Yay!
And Charlie Verity.
Hello, it's me. I just want to shout out the amazing Chaos Chorus who's been with us live and also on YouTube. We appreciate all of your comments, support, votes. The spy vote was like my favorite thing every week, just watching the swings and the roundabouts of it. I loved it so much. And thank you so much to Colin for facilitating this game and to Modifius for providing us with the material. I want to be a spy for the rest of my life. And pretty much that's what Verity goes and does. She stays hardcore in the intelligence work. Also hardcore in the flirt with everyone she meets work. It's a busy time. There's still a fair amount of morale to be keeping up. And I think we see her arriving in Berlin right near the end of the war, the end of everything. She's on a harvest mission, essentially, before they get everything shredded and destroyed, because that's how everything is going. She's going in there to get out what she can. And I imagine she and Mabel have spent many a late night working on their German, because until now she's gotten by with German dictionary and a smart brain, but really she had to go and learn some German. So
I reckon so much of the German though becomes, would you like to get a drink? You cute. I like you.
Are you single? And for me, my headcanon is that whoever made it out, you are all decorated heroes, though you can't ever talk about why. And whether or not you realize it, you have saved the world from something awful. And by virtue of not learning what Judith learned, what Alexei learned and got him killed, by virtue of simply keeping that knowledge out of your brain and therefore never telling anyone about it, you have shortened the war. Because what everyone agrees, historians generally agree, is that the Ardennes offensive, the Battle of the Bulge, which is what happens right now, shortened the war. It killed a ton of Americans in the process, but Hitler spent the last of everything that he had on an offensive that had no chance of ever working. And it meant that the Soviets took Berlin months sooner than they would have. And that really is what the objective was. That was Judith's mission, to make sure that word never got out about it. And she succeeded.
Oh, and I have one gift for General Strang, which is a note that comes across his desk. And it's the lyrics to Some Enchanted Evening, written in Welsh. It looks like it's in code, so it's going to fuck with him, but it's in Welsh. So I finally used my Welsh that Colin put on my sheet.
Yeah, and as soon as you start speaking Welsh, he's just turned off completely. He never writes back. I'm just kidding. You guys totally date. I don't care, 69 retweets or not. The general
But
gets
only a
hold of
little
you.
bit, and then
You
she
guys
moves
have a
on.
drink. That's Now she's had that. Whatever. I'm gonna do my plugs extremely quickly. Hi, I'm just Colonomicon. I have my own Twitch channel. You should check it out. I do a one shot every Sunday at 7. This coming one is Steelenocht, and Kat is in it, and she's running it, and it's gonna be freaking incredible, and you should watch it. And that's all I'm gonna say. Just my channel, twitch.tv/Colonomicon, 7 o'clock on Sunday. See what I think will be like the best damn game of Steelenocht you've ever seen. And that's all for me.
All right. And we are going to head straight on over to the next cast, which is our wonderful 1776 cast playing Boston Besieged. It's going to be a hell of a finale, so I hope you got snacks. Stay tuned. I'm going to send us straight on over there. Thank you once again so much to everyone who has been here this season, to all of the cast, to all of you who have watched. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and good night.